1, 2, 3, now the joke's on me. And you had your fun and you played and won. Had me running, 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 running back to you. Running, 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 running back to you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gary and Kenny Show. That music that you were listening to that Ken was bobbing his head to, that's Carly in the Universe, and Carly is going to be our guest in just a few minutes. Ken, is that how you listen to music? With your
You know,
head
that is the metric by which I can tell whether or not I like a song or not. If my head bobs, I like the song. It doesn't matter what genre it is, it doesn't matter. But if I bob my head to it, I like the song. If it's a pop song, I don't care who the artist is, if it gets my head to bop.
Gets your head to bop.
I like
That's
it.
good music.
Yeah.
What else do you bop to? Can you name any favorite bands that get
No, because as we've talked about it before, my interest is always discovering new music.
Yeah.
So I'm always playing, new indie releases and all that stuff. But I cannot keep track of the names of the artists. You know, back in the day when you'd listen to radio, the DJ would back announce the song or front announce, say, here's so-and-so and so-and-so.
And that
on
was
Spotify, you don't have that anymore. So the music just continues to continue. So unless you look down at who they're playing.
So sometimes you find your head bopping and you don't even know who the artist is.
I just hit it goes to my playlist.
Okay.
And people go say, hey, that's really good. Who is it? And I said, I have no idea.
Well, you know what? Our audience, some of them have no idea of
What?
who we are, because I didn't say I'm Gary Kroger in Waterloo and this is Ken Seisler in Calabasas.
Well,
so
I was starting to get a little confused myself. I was having a little identity crisis here. Which one are you again?
I'm Gary in the breadbasket.
Aha, the breadbasket.
Yeah, we'll get back to the breadbasket.
Yeah.
And you're Kenny in the land of pumpkins.
In the land of pumpkins, a very big time out here with Halloween coming up right away. We're having a giant pumpkin festival.
Do you decorate? Do you put pumpkins around the
No, we
house?
used to do the jack-o'-lantern thing with the kids when they were young.
Now you have grandkids.
Now I have grandkids, so we may be doing that again. I don't want to go into the whole Halloween thing because I'm not a big fan. Are you a fan of Halloween? I just don't get it.
Not at all.
It's frightening.
Not at all. No, and I don't like the obligation I have to sit out there and hand out candy all day.
We shut the lights off and quietly hide.
But then you feel like Ted Kaczynski, because I do that too, but then I feel like I'm betraying the whole concept and these beautiful children who made an effort. I feel like the cranky old get off my lawn man.
Well, we are, but that's okay because the dog starts to bark every time they come, and I don't get it. You know, listen, I just don't understand what the joyous. It's really a maudlin holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, All Saints Day. I mean, it's the dead rise. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't care.
Hey, it's smart, but it's amazing the things I don't know.
Yes,
when you bring them up.
So SNL just had their premiere.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. Well, I don't watch it. I do too.
I watch but I saw that you do like a commentary on it.
Yeah, I do for Entertainment Weekly. Andy Hoagland is a good friend. In one of those SNL clubs that have podcasts and things like that. And he asks me to comment on the shows, and he prints it like hours later.
Well, I thought there were two standouts. I thought that James Austin Johnson, or was that his name?
Yeah, the new guy.
Boy, he's
got a talent.
He does.
He's not a one-trick pony either.
I think there was a new person who was very good, which was interesting. Now, can you explain to the audience what the difference is between a featured player and the regular cast?
Yeah, a featured player doesn't get paid as much.
That's really it, huh?
I mean, that's really it.
Yeah.
That's really it. Now, in my era, there were no featured players. We were all in the cast, but, it was favored nation, so we all got paid the same first year, second year, third year, fourth year. But, yeah, I think it's a way to not have an obligation to get them into more than one or two things, groom them like a AAA farm club to become a regular player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but you're not...
your overall review of this premiere with Owen Wilson.
Did I like it or not?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I liked it very much.
Yeah,
I can watch Owen Wilson eat,
Boy,
butter.
He really does it great, doesn't he?
He commits.
Are we staring at his nose?
Yeah, we are, but we let it go because it's part of the whole package. I
Was
think
his
if he
nose
had this
always like that?
aquiline nose, yeah. I think the doctor punched him in the face at birth. No, he's a handsome guy. That's a horrible
yeah, no,
thing
there's
for me to
no
say.
question.
But he has a weird bridge. But it's it's like Jimmy Durante in his nose or Barbara Streisand. It's just you don't change it.
Okay.
You
No,
know,
just
I
that
think
I found myself drawn to see it, looking at it, wondering what happened. But I think he's incredible. I'm a big fan.
I think he's great. I think he's wonderful. I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Yes, sir.
And I wasn't going to, but I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Do you think that there's any moral obligation to this show to like tell people don't do drugs? Do you think we have any moral parameters to follow?
When you say this show, you mean the Gary and Kenny
Our show, the Gary and Kenny show. Do you think that there's such a thing as going too far in terms of what we divulge?
Yes, I do think.
What would that be?
Well, I think there's an expectation from people that they want to come to the show and because they find they're entertained by it, as opposed to something that they wasn't expecting.
I overset this up because it'll seem tame now.
Okay.
But, I ran for office a couple of times. I enjoyed it. People ask me all the time, are you going to run again? And the answer is no. And it's absolutely no. I enjoyed every part of it, but I didn't enjoy having to edit myself, go through all my work. Am I embarrassed of? What's going to come up? Can I say this? So these days, I'm just screw it. I'm going to do what I want, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the other day, a buddy came over, and he gave me an ecstasy. I see no expression on your face. An ecstasy pill. I'm 64 years old. And so I was all alone yesterday.
Well, that's the problem. Ecstasy, nothing's better than ecstasy and a woman.
But there was no woman. It was just me.
Well, I love MDA is what we used to call it.
MDMA, I think is what it is.
Yes.
Clinically is MDMA.
Okay.
Well, to me, this is shocking because I haven't done this in 25 years.
Oh, my God. What are you like?
This guarantees I can never run for office. You realize that's what I'm divulging here.
I think ecstasy, I don't know. You can run. Barack Obama admitted to smoking pot.
I think smoking pot is much more mainstream, especially now. I still think little designer drugs like ecstasy are considered like.
I got to tell you, somebody, if it's real ecstasy, I'm like, holy shit. I love it, but I don't get it because it's very difficult to get.
Well, not for me anymore, but.
Well, you are my next hookup.
Well, here's what happened, though. I thought, he gave me this. What the heck? I'm entirely alone. My son.
Did you enjoy it?
Loved it.
Loved it, right?
Loved it. Well, here's the thing, though. I told my wife, and she was really upset that I wasn't there to just love on her, right?
Yes.
So I'm texting constantly. I love you so much, and I said, but with the ecstasy expectation is that you're just gushing love all the time. And I couldn't just keep going, I love you, honey, I love you. I almost texted I love you to you, Kenny. I love you. I love doing our show. I got out my bass guitar. This is all tying back to music. I got out my electric bass, my Paul McCartney left-handed Hofner. I cranked up the Beatle music, cranked up my bass, and I am the happiest man in the world. Ecstasy.
Now, in Iowa, you may not get elected. But if I sold ecstasy in Calabasas, I would be the mayor tomorrow.
Right. You'd put it on your brochure.
I would put it on my brochure. Yeah. Ecstasy for everybody.
Progressive and dealer.
Right. Exactly. No question about it.
It ties back to music because you bob your head. When I am my pure self, it's the Beatles. Cranked up.
You do the risky business. You do the risky business dance. You're in the shirt and the underwear and sliding across the wood floor.
Almost.
Okay.
As much as my 64-year-old body would allow.
Right.
But I just had a great time. So I'm not saying to people, get some ecstasy as soon as you can. But there was no hangover.
No.
There was no alteration of my senses where I couldn't, if I had to go to the store, I could have. I just would have probably kissed the cashier uncharacteristically or something.
Yeah. Actually, it really should be like in warfare, instead of like spraying people with napalm, we should drop ecstasy over the enemy, right?
I think that's genius. I actually think there's something there. You can't drop the ecstasies and expect 10,000 soldiers to pick it up. But what if at the peace meetings, like the Geneva peace
put
talks,
it in the water.
Everybody does X.
Put it in the water.
I actually think this is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
okay. That's I just want to go back to SNL for 1 second.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know? Well, I asked Beth McCarthy Miller, who directed SNL for many years.
Yeah.
He's going to come on the show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's awesome. And I was going to. And then now they just announced a new director.
Yeah.
For it, I don't know whether or not you directed this first episode, but I was curious.
I think so. Yes.
Did you even know who the director was for the SNL episodes that you did?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because in '75, when I started college, that's when SNL started. So it became an institution, right? Mm-hmm. Those names that went by at the end, the writers, Zweibel, they became legendary. Directed by Dave Wilson. I figured Dave Wilson must be the hippest, coolest, funniest guy in the world. He was a middle-aged man, jovial, kind of a fatherly figure. Not exactly what I expected, but a wonderful guy. I couldn't wait to meet Dave Wilson, but he had his hands in everything. He blocked it on the floor, and you heard him calling cameras out during rehearsals. So he was very involved.
But was he good? I don't want to say badmouth him. I would just say...
Well, he's passed away, but...
Oh, I didn't know that.
But he was good, but maybe a little rigid. If he didn't get the humor to something, he didn't put everything he had into it, I think, sometimes.
Well, I'm looking forward to having Beth on. And one of the things that I don't think a lot of people realize, because I did live directing, as you know,
of course,
is how nervous a director gets before a live show. I mean, there are times that I was so nervous I'd be in the bathroom just like...
Really?
Yes, because it's live and you're there and you don't want to miss a shot. You could make a mistake. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on a director.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because we did work together for a year, live television show.
Yeah.
You never seemed tense to me. You always seemed pretty loose.
Ecstasy. No, I don't know. But you get loose because after doing it for such a long time on that show, that was fine. But originally, like the first time you direct a big show, and you haven't done it, I did some live shows for HBO or whatever, you get really nervous. I mean, you can't show it to people. And once you get the 3, 2, 1 and you go into full director mode, everything goes away. But it's an interesting thing. I don't know if people have seen, to see these guys in those situations where in the control room directing is quite something. It really is amazing to see all of those, moving parts.
Well, yeah, I was a producer on the George and Alana show, so I would very often go into the booth. Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. And it was live to tape. It wasn't broadcast live. It was live to tape. But yeah, it was like NASA to me. It was like Houston Control. I thought it was fascinating. And speaking of, back in those days when we did Comic Strip Live, there was a guy, I don't know who he was, but he came and he handed out ecstasy. I don't know if he included you. No, he was like Magic Mike or whatever. And yeah, he would give me ecstasy. So I'd be dressed up from Comic Strip Live, pop an X, get in my convertible Mazda Miata, and go to Roxbury. Oh, and they would always, because I think I looked a little like Michael Douglas. I mean, I don't mean to be flattering myself, but I think I did with longer hair back then. They always just threw the stanchions aside and said, right this way. And I was happy as a clam.
Okay. So do you want to introduce our guest?
Well, I think that would be a good idea.
You think?
She's been listening this whole time. We're very bad influences on this lovely young woman. The genesis of our guest that you'll meet in just a second is that we love her music and her band. It just came across our radar, and we're a couple of middle-aged guys who went, wow, this is really something. The band is Carly and the Universe, and their music has been described as R&B infused pop, indie soul pop with a sweet soulful touch. Their previous release, The Whole Shebang, was nominated for Best CD as a group at the LA Music Critic Awards in 2015 and received outstanding press from Buzz Bands and South Bay Magazine, as well as Indie Blogs and Free Bike Valet and Lady Indie Blog.
She'll be middle-aged by the time this is over.
Couple of blogs that I'm not familiar with. But a lot of that descriptive genre comes from the powerful yet lilting voice of lead singer Carly Liza, who joins us today. Carly, welcome to the Gary and Kenny Show. Meet Kenny and the Universe.
Hello, Liza. Is it Liza with a D? A Z?
Z, Liza with a Z.
Oh, it is Liza with a Z. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Is Liza any homage to Liza Minnelli? Or is that actually?
Of course.
Well, of course.
And
Okay.
Carly Simon, you know.
Oh, so you come from a musical family. So is that what you're saying?
Music lovers,
Good,
but
good.
my mother says that I got my musical ability from the mailman.
Well,
I beg your
and
pardon?
where was that mail being delivered? Where was that mail being delivered? Where are you from?
I'm actually from Redondo Beach, California.
Yeah?
It's in her songs, Gary.
Well, okay, but it doesn't mean she was.
Well, she does
it's
say in the
about
song she's
her-
a Southern Cali. Nevertheless, when we haven't traditionally had somebody young and in the music business like you have. But one of the things that I found interesting, because I was one of the original people who started at MTV in 1981.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I was at MTV, and the music industry has dramatically changed. And what we used to do is play music videos on MTV.
Right.
Now, obviously, music videos are a very essential part. Do you watch MTV?
I grew up watching MTV.
But do you watch it now? Is it relevant now? It's not like I have any. Tell it. It's fine. I don't think.
I would say, I don't know if MTV has like a streaming platform for.
Right.
So your goal, and now you have a music video, but it's not like your goal is to get it on MTV.
Of course, I'd love to get my.
Well, the goal is to get it on everything, but MTV isn't the driving force anymore.
I just want to point this out. One of the things that really impressed me about your music is that, first of all, as Gary was trying to explain how your music was being defined, what I loved about it was it's really tough. You can go from being torch song, ballad singing, very 1940s, to very jazzy, to very pop. I thought it was very creative and very interesting, and that kind of was the reason that we thought you'd be great. Which I was segueing into, we should let people listen and see what we're talking about.
All right, are you looking to play a little piece right now, Ken? Then I think it ought to be Rock the Baby, the single that was just released.
Okay, let's do that.
Was that a good segue?
I think
Let's
we're
do
playing
that.
Rock the Baby right now.
Right before I went to sleep, the smell of eucalyptus trees would bring a calm over me before my eyes grew heavy. Rock the baby back and forth to sleep. Give the willow one last chance to weep. Let the room fill with the smell of old days. Watch the branches move and sway away. I'm trying my best to, trying my best to, I'm trying my best to hold on to your hand. Trying my best to, trying my best to, I'm trying my best to hold on to your hand.
That was Rock the Baby, of course, and that was your single that was just released. It's kind of a lullaby, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then it becomes a bit more R&B at about 30 seconds. Tell us how you create your music. Who's the composer? Is it the whole band? Give us some insight.
I'm trying to think how we came up with that one. The town that I grew up in has like a very naturey, eucalyptus trees everywhere, and just such a nice, welcoming, homey childhood. I had a good childhood. I know a lot of people didn't have good childhoods, and that's.
Well, I got stood up a lot.
Well, yeah.
I had a good, happy childhood, and I just wanted to incorporate a song that has a sense of nostalgia and lullaby and a sense of warmth. And for me, like, that sense of warmth comes with, like, the sound of the wind rustling the tree leaves, and a lot of like organic elements are.
Well, it's a beautiful song. Do you like the obligation of having to do the music video part of the music?
I love creating the music videos. All the creative direction, like for the music videos, are my ideas. It depends on the project. Sometimes I bring in like other directors or producers or that type of thing. So, and some of them I've directed and produced myself. And
Well, now-
I edit all of them.
Now, so you have this concept, you know what you want, you know the feel, you know what you want to say. Are you bringing it into, I want to mention the band, guitarist Mike Post, bassist Freddie Hernandez, drummer Cameron Clark, and keyboardist Artur Zakian?
Yep.
Well, that sounds like the entire universe of people.
Well, there's the universe.
There's the universe.
Do you have, who's the melody maker? I mean, it's collaborative, of course, but Kenny loves the business, and I love the process of creating.
Yeah, I write all the melody lines and lyrics. That's definitely like my lane when it comes to the band. I do write a lot with our bassist, Freddie. I mean, he creates like the most beautiful, intricate bass lines, but you know, for our songs, for our song Sunset, the creative direction for that was we're all the guys in my group, and actually we have a new keys player, her name's Krutika. They're all such talented musicians, and they just want to play all these beautiful, intricate riffs and all this stuff. And I have to say to them time and time again, you need to dumb it down. You are too good. You need to play less. You need to play in a way that's palatable to somebody who doesn't always listen to music. You have to spoon feed people through each section of the song to get it to a place that, people want to listen to the song all the way through.
Who do you listen to?
Who do I listen to?
You read my mind.
I guess, right now I'm listening to a lot of artists that I think are in the wheelhouse of the type of fan base I'm looking to tap into. So I don't know if you know, like Georgia Smith or Umi or, yeah.
Well, you've been compared. I mean, people have. You've got the power of an Amy Winehouse. You've got the pipes.
Thanks.
Gwen Stefani's name comes up. Are those inspirations as you were growing up?
Definitely love Amy Winehouse. I didn't listen to Gwen Stefani as much growing up, but now I definitely listen to her more and resonate with people saying that we have that kind of quirky sound, and I love that.
And often a lilt. You have a lilting voice, is what people often say, and you do. You have a great range.
Thank you. I grew up playing with this woman, Annette Smith. She's actually 96 years old now.
Older than my mother.
Still sings. She still sings. She's very incredible. Her husband played for Ella Fitzgerald and Lena Horne back in the day.
What
Paul
is he,
Smith.
106?
He passed away a couple years ago. But she's still around. She's still singing and playing, and it's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Well, Carly, I got to tell you, I really appreciate your coming on. We love your music, and as a matter of fact, we love it so much that as we say goodbye, we're going to play some more music.
Yes, which was a beautiful way to go out there, Kenny. A beautiful way. But I want to give her an opportunity to plug the formats where she can be seen.
What about live performance?
Right now, we're not really focusing on live performance. It's just too difficult to put together. Like when I do a live performance for my fan base, I want us to be incredible. I want us to have our lights and our dance routines and everything just to be great, because I want to give people that moment that we're sharing, that they resonate so much with the music that they're hearing at home, that when they come out to see us, that it's just the same caliber and it's the same experience that they were hoping to get. Right now, it's just not worth for us to put the time and effort into.
Well, it's because of COVID. There's not many venues or opportunities, but it is starting to open up.
It is starting to open up, but we're focusing more on writing more and creating more content because of the buzz that we have going on right now.
Well, you have a great buzz, and we really want to help you promote. We're going to do everything we can because we genuinely like the music. And you know what? We don't like everything. And we know that not everyone likes Kenny. They don't even show up on dates, right?
That's correct.
give the audience listening and watching every avenue, every platform where they can enjoy, download Carly in the Universe.
Well, it's just that. It is every avenue and every platform that you could type in Carly in the Universe, we will show up. So if you have your Amazon or your Spotify or your Apple Music or your YouTube, definitely give us a listen. But also on top of that, if you are listening, put us on before you go to bed, turn the volume all the way down and put it on repeat and just let it play as you're sleeping. So we rack in those streams. Thank you.
Yeah, and Rock the Baby, your new single, is perfect. It's a lullaby.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's been such a pleasure
Thank you,
having you
Carly.
here. The best of luck. We're going to be keeping tabs on you, until I'm 96.
Thanks. Yeah. If you ever are in LA, come and we are playing the show, definitely come out.
Would love it. Thank you so much, and good
Thank
luck
you.
to the rest of the band,
And,
all right?
we'll play some music on the way
Play
out.
some music on the way out.
Well, that's okay, baby, 'cause right now there's nothing to do but just. That's okay, baby, 'cause right now there's nothing to do but just chill out. Chill out.
Hey, I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought she was just terrific. You never know, when you don't know somebody. And
Well, I was good, I thought.
yeah, I thought you were particularly good, Kenny. I thought you really took even the lead hosting sort of.
It was because of the music MTV connection. I think that was.
Oh, I know, but that was very interesting. And then
Yeah.
two questions that came out of your mind. I was thinking, oh, let's get back to the music. And then Kenny said, let's talk
Well,
about
I
the
think
music.
that's like what happens when you have married couples. They start to think alike, and we've been hosting this
Are we
show.
like a married couple?
I'd like.
You want to
not-
go back to the conversation that I railroaded over about, the difficulties of childbirth and the breadbasket?
Well, you should.
Want to talk about the breadbasket?
Well, I am kind of curious how you missed that.
The breadbasket?
Yeah.
Nobody walks around here saying we live in the breadbasket. No one. I promise you. Nobody says, hey, this is the Midwest. It's
Well,
called the breadbasket.
It's not like we walk around here going, I'm going into the entertainment capital of the world.
Or the land of pumpkins.
Or the land of pumpkins. So that doesn't happen.
Now, let's go to what we were talking about before we turned on the microphones and the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny, you said that in several times in your young life, you were stood up on dates. I'm feeling bad about
Well,
it.
do you want to give context to this? Because Carly was supposed to be on last week, and then she didn't
there's
show
the
up.
context. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Give the context.
Well,
yeah, Carly was
I
supposed
guess she was supposed to be on. She didn't appear, and so basically, I felt like I did when I was growing up, which was like just another case of getting stood up by a female.
Well, I don't understand how that happens. And I'm
Well,
not
the way it happens is, and I think I might have mentioned it, is when people will say to accept my invitation to go on a date, at the time, it seems like a good idea.
So,
But I think, given, like if I say, come on a date with me now, they might do it. But if I say, let's have dinner tomorrow night, then between now and tomorrow night, they're going, I don't know if I really want to do this. And I end up sitting there waiting for somebody. I've been stood up quite a lot. I once got stood up by my mother.
all right, and that's got to be a different silo here. But let's drill into this for a minute more, so long as it's interesting. It had to be the kind of people you were asking out, because I don't know of a human being that would say to my face, "Oh, I'd love to have dinner." No, I've had people call and say I can't make it, and then they never called me back ever again. But I've never had anybody not show up.
Well, that's because I think here's the difference. People, like I say, after further thought, after further reflection, they decided that I was not a good idea. You, on the other hand, are...
I wear well.
Yeah, you are a person that they meet and you go, let's have a date. And then the more they think about it, the more they think that, I see he could be good. He could be a lot.
You know
of
what I
fun.
used to hear a lot? You know what I used to hear a lot after the first date is, and then they would confess to me later, Well, I went out with you again because I figured there just had to be more.
Right. Yeah.
There had to be more substance than the show that I would put on.
Well, you see, at least you piqued their curiosity, and that's, I think, a little bit part. Maybe there was a mystery. There was no mystery to me. They would meet me. They would know me right off the bat. From a first impression, they knew all about me and decided they were not showing up. You, on the other hand, you were like, I don't really get him. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Maybe I should go out with him again. And he still confuses me. So I'm going to search more, and I'm going to end up going out with him more.
And everybody beyond the show has something more. So, yeah, I could really extend a date into about 6 more, just because there would be some other elements that were semi-interesting. Now, I can't wait to do the kiss-off on this show, just so I can say, and Kenny, who seemed like a good idea at the time.
At the time.
Yeah, you can find us on Spotify.
Right.
What else is going on in your life?
Oh,
Hey, we skipped over you being a grandfather for the second time. Let's acknowledge that. I don't feel that I have.
No, there's been no news on that.
Congratulations.
There's been no news. Well, I appreciate that, but I didn't really do anything.
You didn't do anything.
No.
Well, you did.
No, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious that my son-in-law had sex with my daughter. I will tell you that right now. That's a real possibility.
Yeah. Okay. See, you are interesting. You know, is this your dialogue when you go out on a date? Is this sort of, because you do have a unique perspective, Kenny. You and I converse very, very well, but I never know where you're going. I never know. And if I were dating you right now, I might be a little like, gives me a little anxiety.
Well, the thing that always confuses me is women. But one of the aspects of women is the thing where they go, I'm looking for a man with a sense of humor, just somebody who'll make me laugh.
Yeah.
Well, I do that pretty well. But they always end up going home with the guy with the scar, the leather jacket, and who smokes cigarettes. Who might actually make them laugh. No. That doesn't make them laugh.
There's no laughter?
No. I'm way funnier than those people.
You are. Well, my general rule is anybody who says I'm the kind of person that, or I like, assume the opposite. I kind of found the legend for that a long time ago. Yeah, because we don't have a good view of ourselves because we're seeing a reflection. What you're saying is I wish I were the kind of person that was turned on by a sense of humor. So that's what they say they are. But in reality, no, they want either the biker jacket or, Brad Pitt's.
This is why you would be very good first date. As a matter of fact, I may ask you out.
Well, it's funny to think about it because I've been married now, and you've been married since, the late 40s, right? You've been married a long time.
Apparently.
I don't really remember my rap. I don't really remember what I would go into.
But here's the other thing. I wish we had the internet and mobile and all the dating things that now, I wish I would have been great on that. I really do. I think I would have been great. But the idea back in the day is that you had to go to a bar and you had to walk up and you'd be frightened to death to approach these people. These people being those women. They were like
this other species.
It is like
these people with the power of no.
Right, exactly. The power of no. And it's devastating.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of just going online and swiping right and swiping left is so much more convenient. I love that.
For me, I think it was the opposite. I don't think I would do well swiping left and finding out that the truck driving by, there's someone who wants to date. I was good in the bar.
See,
and now
that's why I wasn't good in the bar.
Got to be really careful here because I was never sleazy. I was never, come on, hey,
But did you have a line?
No, I didn't have a line. I'm trying to think of corny pickup lines. Did you just fall from heaven? I don't know, whatever.
Right.
No, but I would always be with a friend. You have to have a wingman, and you're their wingman. And, sometimes you maybe have a few drinks. I always got to a point where rejection wouldn't matter to me. It's like, you're probably going to say no, but you know what? Really? I just happen to. And if you think I'm creepy, blah, 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 fine. Can I buy you a drink? No. Great. Have a great. I was always at a place where no was fine. And that I found out is a certain power. anybody who is aware of the fact that this person that just came up to them is fine if you say no, or at least.
Well, that's because it's confidence.
Yeah, it's confidence.
I know they love confidence.
And so people,
those people.
those people, I think we can say women,
yes,
would often say yes. You know, I think maybe we actually provided a service today to anybody that's, I think we provide a service for middle-aged divorced people. I don't know that my son would learn anything from what we just talked about.
I don't really know what you would do with any of the information that we just provided in practical reasons. But on other notes, are there other notes?
Kenny, your hair is kind of surfery today, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
I want to talk about shampooing. Because I take a shower every time right before we do this. For the podcast, I know it doesn't matter.
I don't.
But for the YouTube part, I think it's important.
Okay. It's nice to know.
On my shampoo, it says, this product was not tested on animals.
Right.
Do animals, monkeys, or dogs have an objection to getting soft, luster, full-bodied hair? I mean, I'm using this shampoo.
Right.
So why I would think a monkey getting a shampoo with this very expensive shampoo, they should test it on animals. I think the animals would enjoy it. And I think they would look cleaner and better with fuller hair.
If I had a monkey, I would shampoo my monkey.
See? So
and when I've had dogs, I do shampoo. Now, Kenneth, there's always a truthful answer to your bizarre questions.
Okay.
Because what they're saying is this was not tested. In other words, there's alcohol in things that could irritate skin. So they didn't use test animals to make this, that could suffer from discovering the shampoo that Ken Seisler would enjoy.
But at some point, they should get the product to the point where they go, okay, I think it's safe enough to test on a monkey.
To test. Well,
and I think the monkeys would be okay with it.
I think the monkeys would be okay with it. I think at that point it's simply called shampoo and it's put on the market.
I would be okay if on my shampoo there was a picture of the monkey that they tested the shampoo on, and the monkey had this beautiful bold, lustrous hair. I think that I would be okay with that. If you bought a shampoo
and it said Prel endorsed by monkeys, you're happy.
I want to see a picture.
Now, I would imagine, though, skin textures, the degree of porous, the hair fibers themselves. I know that when I had a dog, I had a parakeet, and I would give my parakeet little baths with a special
I'll tell you another
shampoo.
Thing. My brother-in-law is in the business of doing oils and stuff like lotions for people to do, their business. And he also has on his product, this product was not tested on animals. And I'm thinking, I think the animals would love to have this tested on them. I think you should give a room full of monkeys all of this massage lotion and have them whack off for an hour and come out and go, this is the best fucking oil I've ever had.
Kenny, we're going to put you in charge of this.
Okay.
But take it. This could be your millions.
Everybody's against animal testing. Has anybody asked the animals?
Ask the animals, yes. Kenny Zoo, Dr. Seisler, Little.
I'd have animals with great hair, whacking off all over the place.
You see at the dog park. Hey, you're asking.
You're looking good. Yeah.
Who does his hair?
I know, and you look so happy. The smile on your face. Well,
I've
lost a lot of fresh stress.
Shampoo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all right. What else is on your mind?
I'm so glad I have you to talk to.
Well,
because I say this to my wife and kids,
I know,
and they
Kenny,
just stare at me.
Kenny, you seem like a good idea.
I did. I seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, here's the thing.
One day you should just come on, and you won't be there, and I'll just be here. And I'll be waiting. And the whole show would be me just waiting.
Curious experiment. Like, what would you talk about? Would it be exactly the same? Because I think it would be.
I don't
think you need me responding. Because here's the thing, Kenny, you've always been this way. Your mind is kind of a radar looking for those incongruities and things that don't make any sense. And they might be things that make sense to all the rest of us. but you'll notice them, and it's very interesting.
I'm
but
different, aren't I, Gary?
You are different. I don't bring that to the table so much. I'm responsive when it comes to Seislerisms,
Yeah.
which maybe is a good thing.
Yeah.
Nothing things bother you, Kenny, more than they bother me.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. I don't know. It's
I
not
don't know.
that
Maybe
they
it is a good
bother. Well, listen, it's not as much bother me as much as I question it. That's it. I just like,
No, I think
I'm one of those people that go, oh, here's a nick and a knack. Bring a knick-knack. And I go, well, I'll bring the nick. I have no idea where to get the knack. Can you have an odd without the end?
There's it's a very similar sensibility.
Somebody the other day said, I asked them something, and they say, it was in terms of a job, and they said, this guy really goes the extra mile. And it occurred to me, well, then he's going to be a mile away from where
See, that's how you think.
Why
That's
would
how
you
think.
You got there. Why would you go the extra mile? Because now you're a mile away.
I understand these colloquialisms. I accept them for the most part because I want to show people the grace of understanding. But there's a little bit of you that's very much like Larry David, where the minutia of things that the rest of us, like going that extra mile, like, okay, I don't know, the etymology of that, but I'm fine with it. But it bothers you a little bit.
No, it's just when I first hear it, that's how my brain hears it. It's like, every time he does this, he goes the extra mile. And in my head, I just see somebody getting someplace. Then
I went an extra mile.
And everybody going, hey, come back here. Where you going?
Doesn't Woody Allen address some of that in Without Feathers, one of his books, Without Feathers?
I don't know. But if I lifted it from Woody Allen, I don't think so. But I don't know.
Well, you and Woody Allen have a little in common too.
A little in common. I mean, my goodness. Besides being pedophiles.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You're the editor. You can decide to leave that in or take it out.
That's in. Because listen.
No, but you're very observational, and I enjoy it tremendously.
That's
because I can sometimes literally, I think of a few questions when we have a guest, and I just kind of enjoy seeing where you steer this ship. Now, are you good with me saying steer this ship? Is that an analogy that annoys you?
No. I'm trying to think that there are nautical things out there that I'm a little bothered by. Well, why is it boat? Why can't you just have like the right side of the boat and the left side of the boat, or the front of the boat?
As opposed to port and starboard?
Yeah, front of the boat and the back of the boat. Why can't it be the front of the boat and the back of the boat?
Well, I think it sounds best if you're going toward an iceberg, hard to port. Sounds better than left.
Why? I would completely understand left.
Well, I don't know.
I would be Googling. Hard to port. What is that?
Hey, I'm going on a cruise with my wife and my brother and his wife in
Have you been on
November
before?
Yeah, and if you come out in a little captain's hat, we're going to get off immediately.
I've been on a cruise. It's all about the food, really. It's
all about the food. And I get seasick, though, so I get the patch. Oh. And do you know about the patch?
Yes, I know about the patch.
The equilibrium patch?
Yes.
Have you ever used one?
No.
Have you used one?
I've been seasick, though, but on smaller boats, not on the big boat.
All right. I get seasick, so I put on the equilibrium patch. Now, folks, go to your doctor and say you're going on a cruise, and they will prescribe equilibrium patch. You'll get like 6 of them, right? You only need 2 for a week-long cruise, but you'll get 6 of them. That thing is like cocaine going into your ear with no drop. I'm telling you.
And how long does that last?
About 3 days. It isn't like cocaine, but it's a little euphoria.
Wow.
Whatever, but keeping your equilibrium right.
People
you walk around the house and do housework.
With anything that's good usually gets abused.
This is a horrible public service announcement. But then you have a glass of wine, or you go out with some friends and maybe you have a few. That thing just makes you're dancing all night. It's outstanding. It's outstanding.
Is there a type of wine that you would recommend along with the
a type of patch?
No. You have it depends. You have an equilibrium patch, and now you're going to have a glass of wine.
Right.
I was just wondering.
Would you like me to pair a
suggest-
pairing?
Yes.
I would go with a white wine, a Chardonnay, something with a little more effervescence, perhaps, because the tannins in the red wine do tend to bring you down, give you a headache a little bit, and then the equilibrium patch loses its equilibrium. So go with a lighter alcohol would be my suggestion.
Okay.
And don't operate heavy machinery or drive or jump off a cliff and expect to sprout wings.
Or test shampoo on animals.
Or test shampoo on animals.
God forbid.
Except you and your monkey.
Yep. Me. Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I don't think a shampooed animal is such a bad thing. All right, Gary. So should we go out with a little Carly in the Universe music?
I think that's a great idea. I would like you to go out with Honey. Because I was listening to all their stuff.
Oh, I was hoping it was a brunette you were talking about. Where is she? Bring her out.
We're not on a date, Kenny.
Oh no,
we're not on a date.
Somebody said bring out honey.
That would be a good sign on a date. I'd like to go out with a little honey.
You want me to go out with honey? You bring her out.
That means there's a second date.
She would probably show me up anyhow, right?
Let's go out with a little honey.
Okay, here we go.
Let me say thank you for watching or listening, whatever your preference of the Gary and Kenny show might be. Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, DBNA TV, streaming TV, and we have a YouTube channel. So find us there. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let's go out with a little Carly in the Universe. Ladies and gentlemen, Honey.
How was I supposed to know nobody